This is our new Mini for the 2012 Dakar. The biggest changes can immediately be seen at the front. The hood is about 6 centimeters shorter. In the front we have some changes here, so we have more free space. Thus, if one drives up a dune, the wing won't get torn off straight away. And then we have redesigned the plate kit on the bottom with a different slope angle, so you can get over the dunes better and don't get stuck. The hood has become lighter with a few cosmetic changes, and we have moved the hood lower so that the vision has improved. And from outside, these are the first changes that you can see. And the rest is under the bodywork, and I will show you.
In the back section, you can see it relatively quickly. We've a new system for brake cooling. The brakes are water-cooled, and this logically distinguishes this car from all road cars. Behind is the diesel tank with about 400 liters. The tank has been significantly moved down by about 25 centimeters, which lowers the center of gravity.
Bei dem Mini darauf gelegt, dass wir den Schwerpunkt nach unten bekommen. Das macht das Handling des Fahrzeuges besser und man kann dadurch besser. Our main focus is in the development of the Mini this year is that we've brought the center of gravity lower, and this makes the handling of the vehicle better, and you can also go faster into corners. When jumping, the car behaves much easier. The particular concept that you see here is the whole vehicle is built in modular design, so all parts can be easily removed. It is very easy to service. Here the mechanics can get anywhere on it, and when the vehicle is in service, the plastic parts are put on again, and the vehicle looks like new again. We've evolved the chassis again because we had big tire problems last year with lots of flat tires, and we've tuned the vehicle somewhat softer. Und dadurch viele Reifenplatte haben wir das Fahrzeug jetzt etwas weicher abgestimmt. Jetzt gehen wir noch mal nach vorne. Here we go to the front. With the engine, the heart of the car, a BMW 3-liter diesel twin engine, and we tried to get significantly more power to enable the torque to unfold evenly. And then we made many small changes, such as cooling fluids, to get better reliability. The cooling system was like this last year, and this has only been refined in order to prevent fractures in the Dakar Rally. And this is everything we did last year. It doesn't sound like much, but our engineers worked for many weeks on it. Nach nicht so wahnsinnig viel an, aber da haben unsere Ingenieure viele Wochen dran gearbeitet.
Team X-Raid has now prepared the car perfectly. This is a powerful engine with 315 horsepower and 700 Newton meters of torque.
We have a lot of power, but the best thing is not the power, is the torque. There is a lot of torque in all conditions. So, for example, when you are in a sand, it's necessary to have more torque, and it's really easy with this engine to cross the dunes. So for me, this is the best engine.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was indestructible. You see that when you drive somewhere, but in normal use it will last a very, very long time. It has a very sophisticated chassis with many fine settings that make it possible for us to go fast in all terrains. It now has an air conditioning system in order to make the drivers and passengers as comfortable as possible. It has a very good concept for cooling the engine, transmission, differentials in it, and especially durability. It's now built so that you can theoretically drive a Dakar almost with no service. Of course we don't, but because we want to make sure that everything works well. But if we look how many parts we have replaced, then mostly the tires. Otherwise, you don't need a lot. The all-wheel drive is especially a guarantee for agility, driving stability, and traction on any terrain. The system is based on an electromagnetically operating center differential which distributes drive power infinitely between front and rear axle. In normal driving conditions, the system directs up to 50% of the drive torque to the rear axle. On the pothole gravel roads, 135 km an hour already feels like an expedition into the no-man's land of physics. A series SUV would probably go on strike with a rollover or material damage even at half the pace. But the Mini lurches, drifts, jumps, and if a terrain edge gets in the way, it moves out strongly from the back. Whereby the landings for both man and machine fall comparatively gently. The pilot neither has to worry about back pain nor damage to his car. Hard to believe what the technicians have got out of the shops, even though the suspension travel on the Dakar prototypes is limited to just 25 centimeters. Thus, the technical requirements seem to agree. Now it's important to optimally match this Mini to the Dakar conditions. Well, the car must be set so that it can go anywhere, in the sand or on gravel or in the river. It must be able to do a lot. And we have two settings on the vehicle, a high and a low. The high is in principle off-road and in the sand, and the low on the tracks. And this happens 2 to 3 times in the Dakar. It's set high at other times, as it now stands, near the top with a lot of ground clearance. And this is ideal. The setting must always be a compromise. I can never interpret it 100% because the ground changes during the day. And that's the problem. If we had a track now, for example, only dunes, it would be easy. If you don't have that, you just have to be ready for anything. In the cockpit, it's conceivably tight because the focus of the technicians is the best possible weight distribution. The passenger looks at a variety of electronic equipment, including 2 GPS units, 2 TripMaster, and 2 multifunction displays in the center. The driver must actually only listen to his fellow companion and move the car quickly and safely. Driving in the Mini is a breeze. The carbon clutch engages so gently that even a learner would have no trouble to bring the countryman rapidly to momentum. Further refinements to the cockpit are explained by a Dakar champion. Andreas Schultz from Munich, 20 times Dakar participant, 2-time winner. 2012 he is also the World Cup overall champion in the Mini. One of the best and most experienced co-drivers on the rally scene. He explains the cockpit of the Mini.
It starts with the GP here. Here I have the display to show me in which direction I should go. Here I have the location, the date, and time. Here we have a track I've driven before, because I know if I have made a mistake, then I could go back the same way again. One must drive to all points, because otherwise we get a 3 hours time penalty if we don't reach it. This here is a Motec, because I can read information such as temperature, oil pressure, fuel pressure, how much petrol is still in there, the turbo boost up to all temperature data. Then I have a small switch on our radar. When we drive through towns, you can choose 3 settings: radar 30, radar 50, and in the rare case, radar 90. Here are our backups for all the electrical stuff. They are all labeled. Then here we have a speed limiter, which the driver actuates when I tell him, now there's radar. Here I have our voice connections for our helmets with volume control. And that's all really. We have some tools there and a few spare parts that we can change ourselves. I have every confidence within the Mini because the car drives perfectly and is perfectly prepared. I hope that we don't need anything else.
A vineyard in Portugal. In between the Dakar preparation in October and the race in January, X-Ray presents the new Mini to the press. The top drivers around Stefan Peter Hansel give journalists an insight into the technology. They also get the opportunity to experience the Mini as a passenger.
No, it's different because normally when we do a co-drive, you know exactly the track. So it's possible to be close to the limit. Compare, for example, in race, you don't know the track exactly, so you keep always a small reserve, and sometimes it's faster during the co-drive than in a race.
On the Bike Show this week, we're in Los Angeles to